I apologize that I am unable to speak to you in Spanish today. My name is Katharine Birbalsingh. I flew in last night from London to come and talk to you about teaching and about leadership in schools. I am the headmistress of Michaela Community School, which is a school in London. We are known for our very strict behaviour systems and very traditional teaching. Now, teaching, I would say, is the most exhilarating job in the world. It is also the hardest. And you know, people out there who are not teachers, they think it is the easiest job. And when you go to a dinner party, and people say, "What do you do for a living?" And you say, "Oh, I'm a teacher," or "I am a principal of a school," people always look at you as if to say, "Oh, you aren't very bright, are you?" Or, "You must be a bit of a failure." And what they don't realize is that they could never do what we do. Because Mr. Smith, who runs a shoe shop, he buys blue shoes, red shoes, yellow shoes. And when the client comes in, here you go, blue shoes, they pay some money and off they go. Whereas our clients don't want to be there. Okay? Our clients don't come in for 10 minutes, make an exchange and go away. Our clients are with us for 5, 6, 7 years, and we are trying to mold them into something. We are not just giving them knowledge and skills. We are giving them a life. We are trying to make them and mold them into good and decent human beings. And that is really, really, really hard. And we have the most challenging and the most exciting job on the planet. And we need to remember that. We are extraordinary. And people who do not teach don't understand that. They don't understand the responsibility that we carry and how we are changing the world. And when we are 85 years old and we look back on our lives, we are going to be able to say that we contributed. We are going to be able to say, I made the world into a better place. Whereas Mr. Smith, who runs the shoe shop, all he can say is, I earned a whole load of money. So feel good about ourselves. The thing is, it's hard. So how do we do our jobs? Well, I would say it requires doing everything differently to the way in which everyone tells us. The government, the inspectors, everyone who is out there, the teacher training institutions, what they tell you to do is wrong, okay? And you have to be the red fish and go in the opposite direction. And that is what we have done at Michaela. In fact, I am known as the strictest headmistress in Britain. So, I must warn you, if you do not pay attention today, I have detention organized for you after my talk, and you will all be writing lines. So we must sit up and pay attention, just like we do in Michaela. Now, I know some of us might say, but our children are from poor backgrounds, our children are refugees, or they come from, ethnic minority families, or broken families, all types. We have these children at Michaela. We are in the inner city, and we have a very typical inner city intake with low-income children who come from challenging families. We must not say to ourselves, it cannot be done. It can be done, but it requires consistency, discipline, and tradition, is what I'd say. Now, the first point I want you to remember is behaviour. I am known as the strictest headmistress. That is not a compliment when they call me strict. They are criticizing me. And the reason they criticize me is that they think that strict means mean. It does not mean mean. Strict means love. It means that you keep your standards high for children and you have them reach to where your standards are. If your standards are here, children will rise to there. If your standards are there, they will rise to there. Now, All strict means is that you have consistency across all of your teachers. It means that your behavior systems need to be the same in every single classroom. So we have merits and demerits. You might have a point system. Point for good behavior, negative point for bad behavior. It needs to be the same in every single classroom. Children love predictability and consistency, and that is where they thrive. And the more disadvantaged the child, the more they come from a challenging background, the more they need these things, because they depend on us as teachers to be able to give them the skills and knowledge that they need to change their stars and open doors in their lives. And if you allow for poor discipline in your classrooms, then those children will never be able to learn. The consistency of a behavior system that is the same in every classroom means the children know what to expect from classroom to classroom, and that means they are more likely to behave. You need to follow through on everything. So, you have detentions. Detentions are not mean. They are a way of keeping children accountable. If children do not believe that they are accountable, they will not behave. You need to explain to them, if you do this, you get rewarded. If you do this, you get punished. These days, in 2023, the idea of punishment is considered evil and bad. This is wrong. You have to be the red fish and go in the opposite direction. Anyone who is a parent knows that you must reward and punish children in order to teach them the good habits that they need to be able to succeed in life. And for those children who come from more challenging families, they might not learn that at home. Maybe their parents are working all of the time. Maybe their parents are not there. Maybe the single mother has 4 other children to deal with. She is depending on you, the school, to be able to help her. But if her child is coming to school where there is chaos all the time, where children are fighting with each other and messing around in lessons and not listening, we are letting them down and we are not doing our jobs as teachers. So the first thing to do is to get the discipline right. The second thing is to get the teaching right. And nowadays, we understand good teaching to mean something very different to what it meant 50 years ago. That is wrong in my view. What you need is traditional teaching. The teacher standing at the front, the desks in rows where the children are facing you, not in groups. Nowadays, there is a trend to put the desks in groups where the children are looking at each other and where the teacher moves amongst the desks, keeping the children on task. This is a bad idea. What you need is the teacher in the front leading the learning. I always say that the teacher is driving the bus and the children are on the bus with you. And sometimes little Amy, she looks out the window, little Johnny is fiddling and talking. It is for the teacher to get them back on the bus and to keep on driving. If you allow the children to lead instead of the teacher, if the children are in charge and they are driving the bus, you will not get to where you are going. The teacher needs to decide, today we are driving to Rome, and the teacher drives to Rome. If it's the children who are driving, you might end up in Afghanistan. You don't want that to happen. You need to get to where you're going by being in charge. That is traditional teaching. You need to tell the children things. You can talk as a class. You might even do some turn to your partner pair work, very quick, with a fast pace to keep them on board, because they need to be engaged, and then you get them to do some work. It's very straightforward and simple, actually. We have made teaching far too complicated these days. And when you teach them lots and they learn lots from you, they forgive you the discipline. They forgive the detention because they know how much they are getting from the school. The third thing I would say is teaching the children gratitude. Children will take you for granted if you do not remind them of all the hard work that you do for them. And teachers often work so hard for their children, and they mark their work. They're up at home at night, marking work until 10 p.m. at night, and they come in and they give it out to the children. You need to say to them, do you know how hard I worked for you? Do you know how long it took me to mark those papers? You need to look at those. You need to take care of the work that I have put into this. Children, once they are grateful because you narrate it every single day, they come to understand all that we put into them, and they want to give back to us. And now the fourth thing that I need to say in 2023 is technology. Keep the children off it. They should not have smartphones. They should not have unsupervised access to the internet. I tell all of our families, do not give your children a smartphone. In fact, we sell brick phones, the old-fashioned phone that does not have access to the internet. We sell this to families so that our children are not constantly on these phones, breaking their brains, giving themselves mental health problems, meeting undesirable people. Pedophiles are on the internet, gang members are on the internet, involving themselves in all sorts of activities that ruin their lives. It is so important to get that bit right. In 50 years, everyone will be saying what I am saying, but now, because it is a new technology, we just don't realize how dangerous it is. Now, this is who I am. There is, if you want to see, there is a movie about our school, which you can find at strictustheadmistress.com, the producer of the film. She's got this website with the film, and you can see more about our school there. If you are really interested, and you can read some English, because unfortunately it's not in Spanish, you can read our second book. We have a first book called The Battle Hymn of the Tiger Teachers, and the second book is The Power of Culture. You can also come and visit us, and please do. So we get 1,000 guests every year to Michaela. Teachers from all over the world come and visit our school. All you need to do is go on the website and sign up, and then you can come and have lunch with the children and have a tour and see what our school is. But if you don't make it, right now, I have a very little film that we made, one of my teachers made with a handheld camera, and he went around the school and took a video. I thought I would bring it and show it to you so you can see a little bit of our school today.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby,
Thank you.